All righty, everybody. We are live here on what are we calling this, Michael? This is like Friday Fun Day. This is like Friday.
Delivering the goods, man. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be delivering the goods.
I love it. I love it. We're delivering the goods. We got Michael Pedone, Gabe Larson. We're going to be talking about sales today, best practices, tips, tricks. Michael, kick us off here. What's on your mind?
I know this is a little bit of a loosey-goosey session, but here's the thing. The first thing that we want to talk about is this. This is something that's bothering me big time. The other day I logged into LinkedIn and there's one of these sales gurus out there. Okay, I'm not going to call any names. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody, but here's the problem I'm seeing on LinkedIn right now with everybody that's saying that they're an influencer or whatever
Right.
in the inside sales world is that the background he was on a private jet. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Okay. Don't yeah. But here's the thing: lost all credibility with me right out of the gate, and here's why. Okay. First of all, Scottie Pippen, the great Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan's, the Robin to Batman back in the days. He had his own jet, and even he went bankrupt. Okay. I don't care how good you are at inside sales or growing companies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I've built and sold. I've got a seven-figure cash deal. I built my own company, so I've been in that area. And I would never use if you have to use a private jet background to pretend that your content is of value to get people to listen to you, I'm just calling BS. And the thing is, we see it all the time. We're seeing people are driving around the back of cars and shooting their own videos, making it seem like they have their own chauffeur. I mean, it's insane. Just a lot of times people think that because I'm an inside sales guy and I teach a lot of people, that's my thing, right? People pay me so I teach them how to close using the phone. And so they go, well, you just don't like social media because, it's going to hurt your business. Baloney. I love social. First of all, the social selling isn't really social selling. It should be called social marketing, right? Because we're not really selling, we're branding. And for me personally, I don't care if you use the phone, you use email, text, you can tweet. I don't care if you send up smoke signals. Whatever it takes to get the prospect in a conversation with you, I'm totally fine with that. And I just think that there needs to be some sincerity and some authenticity. Is that the right word? Right? And today's market, if you're gonna, because here's the thing. Here's why I get so passionate about this. Right? Not because it's going to hurt my business. It's because I know what it feels like to have the phone seem like a 25-pound weight, and you just don't want to pick it up anymore. Like, as a straight commission sales rep for over 25 years, there's been times, especially early on in my sales career, where it was no joke, dude. If I didn't sell any, it's a Thursday afternoon, I have no pipeline, nothing on the board, and the end of payroll is tomorrow. If I don't sell something, my family doesn't eat. And I know exactly what that feels like. And so, even a drowning man will grab at a sword, to try to save himself. And so when I see people that are like pretending to be something they're not, so that people will believe into their sales techniques. And if you have to go to that extreme, chances are your content is weak. I'm just sorry, it just is. But the damage is you listen to that stuff, you go out and try it. You're not going to recognize that was the bad path until a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later when nothing comes in. And then now you're in a bigger hole. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really happy to give my speech on the upcoming Inside Sales Summit next week. You guys invited me to, on how to get out of a sales slump, because people really need to know that. But I just want to say, I think we need people to be more authentic. Just be yourself, for the love of God.
So wait, are you saying, are you anti-video then? Is that what you're saying? Or is it
I'm anti-fakery. I'm anti-fake news, man. I'm anti-fakery, right? I mean, why pretend to be something in today's social selling world? I mean, everybody tries to be something that they're not. And listen, God bless him. Maybe he really does have a jet. It wasn't from selling by phone. Okay. Like I said, if Scottie Pippen can make $300 million a year and still go broke and he had to give up his plane, right? You just don't. I don't want to come across as that I'm judging. My fear is this. I think my message is not to the person that was in the plane. It's to everybody else going, listen, we should all be learning. We always want to learn. And in today's market, we can learn, from just about every medium, right? I mean, when I was growing up, it was, we would get a magazine, like Selling Power magazine was like my source way back then. Right, if you're familiar with that. But now, it's tweeting, it's LinkedIn, it's blogging, the whole nine yards. But you have to you have to be careful on what information you're getting from, because just because it's out there and somebody's appearing to, have success doesn't mean that they are. For
Yeah.
all we know, that dude rented that, or it could have been a backdrop for all I know.
No, it was, man. It was, he was using the green screen. I know who you're talking about. It was just the green screen concept. But do you feel like that? How do you flip that though? How do people become more authentic? Is there ways you found that can work in sales?
Yeah. Here's the thing: a lot of the gurus, and I don't care what industry it's in, whether it's in sales gurus or if it's any other type of industry. I mean, there's kids out there that are calling themselves on Instagram influencers, right? Because they want to get all these followers, because
Right.
then they want to get paid to hold up a Coke can or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is they're like buying followers, and they have fake following accounts just to try to make themselves appear something. And I'm like, this is just the wrong path to go down to, because here's the problem: sooner or later, people are going to get exposed. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. If your audience
Oh,
doesn't know who
yeah,
right,
of
they should know
course.
who he is, right?
Yeah,
And
of
I was
course.
listening to his podcast the other day, and he can't wait for the next economic collapse. But the reason was, he says, it's like it's going to reset the playing field, because all the people that were faking it are going to get wiped out, and then you're going to be left with the authentic people. And that's that kind of scenario. Now, I don't wish anybody on the next collapse, but the thing is, I understood what his point was, and all I'm trying to say is, I mean, really, believe it or not, this really is a sales related conversation that we're having here, because the bottom line is this: if you're in sales, we want to do better. The burnout rate is too high when we're not winning. It's not a fun industry if we're not winning. That's just I don't care how long you've been into it. And so here's the thing: is if you want to, and on the flip side though, one of the reasons why I got into sales is because you can live the lifestyle that you can dream of. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it by improving your sales skills. Because most companies are not going to cap you. I know some do, but most companies are not going to cap you on commissions. They want you to bring in as much money as you can. And you're talking to somebody that I barely graduated high school. I never went to college, and yet through sales, I was able to build a company after I got really good at sales, and I sold it for a 7-figure deal.
Yeah.
All by the time I was 37.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have my sales skills, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
do you feel like though? You got all the trainers, people like yourself out there. You got others who are saying, you need to do it this way, that way. I mean, how does someone remain themselves when all they're hearing is, this is how Tom did it, and this is how John did it, and this is best practice, and that's best practice? Is there a way to remain true yet still adopt some of the best tactics and tips in the market?
Right. I think it goes back to the age old ad of, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. I mean, the problem is everybody's looking for a shortcut or an easy button. And the
Yeah.
bottom line is just pick up the phone. I got another thing just happened last night. A LinkedIn message, which everybody's like, hey, I don't want to pick up the phone. I want to connect somebody on LinkedIn. I want to send them a message, right?
Yeah.
So I have a screenshot of this too. I might use it in my next newsletter. I want to take the guy's name out, because I'm not here to embarrass anybody, but I want to teach people what not to do. And the intro was, we help people like, you. And then what he did was, what I could tell is, since my title of the company name on my LinkedIn is long, it's SalesBuzz, and it has all this other keywords on it.
Right.
I could tell it was auto-populated, because nobody would have talked like that and then had my entire long LinkedIn. That's the only place he would have got this message, or my title. You follow me?
Yeah. Right.
And then I could tell that, he must have used a tool to scrape it, auto-populate it, and blast it out, and you're just being a spammer. If he really has something of value that can help my business grow, all he would have to do is pick up the phone and say, listen, my name is this. We do this for other companies. There's a possibility I can help you get this. I just need to ask you a few questions. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
And chances are I'll probably go, okay, I'll give you a second. Go ahead. But now the problem is this: even if you get past that stage, most salespeople have no freaking clue what to do next.
Yeah.
As soon as they get past the opener, most of them just put on a cape, and now they're Captain Wing It. And they just kind of fly by the seat of their pants. Sometimes it works. Most times it doesn't. Why are you laughing? Because it's true.
Well, I mean, no, but I mean, where's the balance, right? I mean, I work for a technology company, right? And automation sometimes lends itself to inauthenticity. It lends itself to non-personalization. That's, I think, one of these debates. Man, I should have that. Is these automated tools in LinkedIn? We're starting to see them with some of the new legality things that have come out, where you can potentially scrape LinkedIn. You've got tools out there that are allowing you to like automate your LinkedIn capability, and you're seeing more of it, right? People are now reaching out with automated messages. So where's the balance of personalization, automation, authenticity? Can you find that? Or, I mean, I guess your point would be, Gabe, you want to use tools to go faster, but don't
Absolutely.
forget to lose you can't lose the crux of sales, which is you and the other person really talking about problems and solutions.
Look, the guy that sent the one I just mentioned that sent me that insincere fake email right through LinkedIn would have been much better, since I know he's mass blasting. The problem is this: he's pretending that he's sending it to me uniquely when I know
Yes.
he's mass blasting it. That's the problem. Okay,
Yes.
if you're going to mass blast it, but you've taken the time, you've built up a list of what I would call suspects, right? They had certain KPIs. If I had certain
Yep.
key prospecting indicators that says, hey, I might be somebody that would buy what they're offering, and he built that list up, he would have been much better off sending an email to everybody saying, I'd like to invite you to this webinar. It's going to show you how to solve X. And then just let me sign up for it. Send that out to 1,000 people. Get 40 of them to sign up, or maybe even 100 or 200 or 300, whatever. Now, however many show up, usually about a third of them will go to the live webinar, but then you do your presentation. Now you have some fresh, hot leads. It would have been, just be authentic. Don't try to pretend like you're personalizing it on a mass scale. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the mass stuff. I mean, I think salespeople should be doing multiple things throughout every day. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean, unless you have enough inbound leads coming, right, where you don't have time to cold call, because as soon as you put the phone down, you got another lead that from the website. Your marketing is doing such a great job. They're doing PPC, their events marketing, whatever they're doing. They're driving enough traffic where you got all these leads you have to qualify, then fine. But if you don't have enough of those coming to keep you busy, then what I think people should be doing is this. They should be breaking up their day where they have a certain amount of time where they know they're going to cold call. And then they also have a certain amount of time for the warm calls, meaning the warm leads that come in. And then a certain amount of time for their follow-up calls, meaning people they've contacted already and got the conversation started, don't necessarily have a set next step, but they know that they need to keep in touch with them, right? So break the day up like that and just be a little more authentic in your process. And I think, if you learn some basic freaking sales skills, you're going to start making more money.
But that is what technology is trying to do, right? It's trying to, and I debate this because, man, one thing I got to agree with you on is right now we are in a place where automation is just leading to unwanted outreach. It is more spamming. Email is more popular than ever before, and you've got sales development reps just it is, again, tools, engagement tools, I won't name any. They're just email, and it's just leading to mass chaos, I think. The problem is there you don't want to go back to the days where we were just spending tons and tons of time, crazy personalization. Is there a way to bring it together where you can bring automation and personalization together so you can kind of get the best of both worlds? And I can't argue with you. Right now, you're seeing a little too much on the mass, a little too much on the inauthentic, a little too much on, we don't even know who we're going after. We just have this engagement tool. We dump it in there. We mass blast a bunch of people. Whoever engages with that email, then we spam them again. And it's like, I don't even know who these people are. How do we work harder and smarter is what I'm hearing you say. And I can't argue with it. I think you've made some valid points there.
I think it all starts with be authentic. The other thing too is to recognize that you have to know who your ideal. You have to know how to pick your zebra out of the herd.
Right.
I mean, you and I talked recently. I told you how I whittled, and I have this massive email list, and I cut it down by half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember that? And I'm okay with that because I want to get the
for
people that I
quality.
know that I can. Exactly.
I think that's going to be a big trend going into 2019. Going into 2019, I do think people don't want to admit this, but We've got to focus more on the smarter. I think we've got the harder. All the automation is making us go fast, 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 fast. But you're right. I think all of us are starting to now say, you know what? Maybe it doesn't matter if we got 10,000 leads or our email. That's what you and I were comparing. Whose email database is the biggest and who gives a crap, actually, right? It's
Yeah.
like we want quality, and I think we've got to start thinking about quality and quantity. And whether you like it or not, you've been thinking mostly about quantity, giving kind of a little bit of a flavor to quality, but I just think we've got to find a better way to do both. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, and here, and one of the things that we all have to be careful of is we can't be what worked for us in the past. We can't say, well, that's the way it needs to be, and I'm going to be resistant to technology. I don't want to change. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
Right. So if it gets to the point where I never have to make another cold call again, okay, great. There's another median out there that will generate where we can get conversations going. Fine, I'm okay with that. But the thing is that what I fear is people are trying to use technology because they're not getting the results of picking up the phone. And the problem is they're not getting results from picking up the phone, and because they're making the same mistakes on the phone that they were in their new technology, but now they're just on a much bigger scale.
That's right.
They're making the bigger mistake to a bunch of people faster, and they're burning through their lead list. And the problem is listen, most salespeople who've been selling for years, first of all, the amount of time you've been in sales does not equate to your skill level in sales.
Right.
I've seen plenty of people in sales for 15 years that couldn't close the door behind them, right? They just kind of meandered through their life doing that way. But here's the thing. The point is that no matter how you get the lead, salespeople need basic skills on what to do once you get the conversation started. I'm not stuck just by the phone to get the conversation started. I think I've been like, maybe some people might disagree with this, but I think I was kind of social marketing before it was even a thing. Even on my past company, one of the ways I was a search engine optimization companies, one of the ways I did is I wrote articles and I submitted them to where I knew my buyers were on how to get better rankings. Yeah. And then people read the article. I became an authority. They'd visit my site. I had a strong call to action on my site. They filled the form out. I saw the form came in. I would look at their profile on LinkedIn. If they matched somebody else, I'd pick up the phone and call them. Yeah. Technically, that's still a cold call because they weren't raising their hand, but it's just a process. But I think too many people are looking for technology to get a bunch of leads in and just to get easy sales. And here's the problem with that. Okay, if we ever get to the point where technology can do that, guess what happens to the sales rep? They're out of a job. There's no need to make high commissions in that scenario. In that scenario as well. So you got to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, interesting. Well, there you have it, everybody. That's Michael Pedone, Gabe Larson. We wanted to have a Friday chat. We were just chatting about some stuff, and we thought, why don't we make this, out to the public? So summary statements from you, Michael. What would you kind of summarize from today's chat?
Be authentic and sharpen your sales skills. That's it. Very simple.
I love it. I'd add to that. I like this concept, guys. Balancing automation and personalization. You cannot go too far down the mass, and you probably don't want to just talk to one person a day. Find that balance. I like the statements from today. Michael, thanks for joining, man. Have a fantastic day.
All right. We'll see you guys.